What's up, y'all? It's your boy Mean, and you're now tuned into the channel where anime and manga means more. So, anyway, Yu Yu Hakusho versus Rurouni Kenshin. What series is better? I like Yu Yu Hakusho better than Kenshin. Yu Yu Hakusho is a little more entertaining. It was more engaging for me because I'm not really into all that drama, you know, hardcore drama, moping, all that kind of stuff, people's feelings and mushy stuff like that. They have two villains in there that's just like off the charts, Toguro and Sensui. And Kenshin really just, is for like top notch antagonist. They just got Shishio. Another thing is I like the use of their powers. I mean, because the fights in Yu Yu Hakusho was just better than Kenshin. I gotta say that the fights in Yu Yu Hakusho was just better. Most of them. I mean, it wasn't even that much fighting in Kenshin. It was a lot more fighting in Yu Yu Hakusho, which was good. I mean, seeing that both of these series involve a lot of action, so it was more action in Yu Yu Hakusho. There's a lot more different themes in Yu Yu Hakusho. You know what I'm saying? Because they had the first arc was when he dies and he finds out about the spirit world and stuff like that. That's one thing. Then we get to these people that can use, those zones or whatever. What was it? Rooms or whatever. Where they can use their powers within a certain range. Then we got another thing going on then. Then we got a tournament. That's another thing. Then after that we got Demon World. And then we got the insight on how demons operate. So it was a whole bunch. It was a more diverse series. But what show do I think is better? I gotta go with Kenshin, baby. Cause we're not talking about which one I liked better, which one I enjoyed more. We talking about which one's a better series. Well, with Kenshin, like I said, they really have like for top-notch villains. The antagonist, the main antagonist. They really only got Shishio. But all the the lower antagonists, sub-antagonists, whatever you want to call them, was much better than Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean, what do they really have in Yu Yu Hakusho besides Toguro and Sensui? You know what I'm saying? Like develop villains. Not much. Kenshin, every last villain was developed. And another thing people don't get on with Kenshin is not just about him trying to, trying to make up for his sins and everything. It's about the effects war plays on people. When you go into war, you don't come out of war. People don't come out. If you do come out, you're not the same. Look at every last single antagonist and protagonist. They were all affected by the war. Kenshin became like he went into the war, trying to help out, trying to do what he thought was right. Now, the problem was during the war, he lost himself and just became what they call Batosai the manslayer. Now, if you see the flashbacks, you will see how he was just carving through people no problem. He became a mindless drone. And once he realized that that's what he became, and he killed people, and nothing really came about, his actions, he really felt sorry for it, and now he felt like he, committed the ultimate sin because he didn't kill plenty of people. Now, on the other hand, Saito, that's his name, Saito. Yeah, Saito, who was pretty much his rival at the time, went into the war similar to what Kenshin is now. When he went into the war, you seen him, with his friends and whatever, fighting for what they believed in during the war. When Kenshin was in the war, Kenshin was like blind and ruthless. When Saito was in the war, he was telling his friends, "Get out the way. I'll face Kenshin by myself. Make sure you guys, make it out safe." So that's how Saito was fighting during the war. He was the opposite of Kenshin. But once Saito got out of the war, he became like Kenshin was. See, once Saito got out of the war, he did that, that whole kill evil immediately type deal. You know what I'm saying? This whole time, he's still on the side of good, but now that the war is over, he became a killer. He became a manslayer, just like Kenshin was during the war. When Kenshin got out of the war, he pretty much became what Saito was, and somebody who's trying to fight for a cause but does not want to, fight senselessly. Look at every last single villain was affected by the war. They all came out differently. They want to take down the government, they want to do something. You see what I'm saying? There's another thing to Kenshin, that the war basically plays an effect on every last single person in that series. It's not just about Kenshin. It's about war and tyranny. See how every character reacts differently, because of this war. Every last single sub villain was better than Kenshin. I mean, better than Yu Yu Hakusho. Another thing is Kenshin has a tighter storyline. The Kenshin storyline and plot is just a little bit more well put together. It's a little more tighter. Look at Yu Yu Hakusho. He's winning because of luck on a bunch of different occasions. That's not the case with Kenshin. The story and plot was just a little tighter. So I got to go with Kenshin. I don't want to make this too long, so I'm just going to end it there. I'm going with Kenshin because Kenshin has a tighter plot and storyline, and also the villains were just more developed than Yu Yu Hakusho. Sensui and Toguro, they were well developed. Now, Shishio was well developed. He was on par with them too. But the lower levels, like the dude who was leading the Chupangatten, I think that's what they was called. He was just like awesome. He was my favorite out of all of them. He didn't even fight, but they just had that one gripe about Kenshin that I didn't like. That bootleg Oniwaban fight. No, not Oniwaban. Chupangatten. Remember when they was in that village and they was fighting against the giant guy and all? Those fights was bootleg, man. Outside of that, I can't say anything about Kenshin. Yu Yu Hakusho, I didn't like the first couple times when what's his name? Yusuke kept coming up. He kept getting lucky. The first time or two is cool, but after 3 and 4 times, it was like, come on now, you're not lucky. Come on, you can't get lucky. Like when he got that muck stuck in his ears. That wasn't supposed to happen. I think at that point, and then when the dude's antenna was messed up. Now I understand that it was valid reasons. It wasn't like just out of left field, some dumb luck. But it was just a little bit too much after a certain amount of time. It was valid reason. I mean, he was in the swamp, so it could happen. And when he was shooting at the guy and he broke his antenna, he was shooting at the guy's head, and that could happen. But it was just a little bit too much for me. And they didn't use certain characters at the end, so that was one gripe about another gripe about Yu Yu Hakusho. They didn't use my boy at the end. All the humans got taken out. At the Demon World Saga. Although the humans could have been used, they didn't have to fight. They didn't have to be part of the story. They could have just stayed around. They could have, been there to support him or something. So, or they could have just stopped by every now and then to check in on the humans or something. But they wouldn't do that. So I got to give it to Kenshin, because Kenshin was just an overall tighter story, and they had, it was just a tighter plot, tighter story, and they had better overall. They had much better villains overall. I mean, look at how developed each, Raijuda and all those guys. They were just more engaging and more developed than the average villain on Yu Yu Hakusho, just a regular demon that has to smash real quick, So yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to Kenshin. Go ahead and leave your comments, rate, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Tell me who you think won, and I'm out. Peace.